everybody. It's Abby Glassenberg from Craft Industry Alliance. Hope you're having a fabulous Wednesday. We are here every Wednesday at this time for our Member Spotlight, which is an interview that we do with one of our incredible Craft Industry Alliance members, highlighting their work and getting to know their business journey a little bit better. It is always very fun. We sometimes get inspiring samples and maybe a little studio tour, etc. So today we are going to be talking with Emma Brassfield. She is a sewist. She's done some really neat projects, and I'm very excited to speak with her. She's also in the UK, which is always fun to get a little bit outside of the US. We have members here at Craft Industry Alliance, actually from all around the world. Definitely a lot of members, probably a majority of our members are in the US, but we do have a lot of members in Canada, as well as in the UK, in Germany, in Australia, and other places too. In France, I know too. So our organization is not just for US-based craft business owners, but is for craft business owners all over the world, no matter where you might be located. And it's also not just for people who sew. I have a sewing background, and the woman we're going to be speaking with today is also a sewist. Any sort of craft-based business in any niche and still be a member. We have content and community for people all over. Hi, Emma. How are you?
Hi, Abby. Lovely. Thank you. How are you?
Great. So nice to talk with you. I was saying that you're in the UK, I'm in Boston, and it's so nice to have members all over the world.
Yeah, it's really great to be a part of. I haven't been a member that long, but I'm loving it so far. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. That's great to hear. So, Emma, tell us a little bit about your business. You sew and you do other things as well, but you're very crafty and you have a business making bags and patterns and videos. And you've done some things for the movies, it sounds like. So that's very exciting. So tell us all about it.
So I kind of call myself a sewing entrepreneur, for want of a better way to describe it. Like you say, I make bag patterns predominantly at the moment. So I have a membership for that as well. I also sell them as retail in my shop. I am a guest presenter over on a sewing shopping channel in the UK called Sewing Street. And I have also, a little bit less now, but I have been also in the film and TV industry making creature costumes for just over 20 years now.
That's so cool. So tell us a little bit about that movie and TV part, because I'm sure listeners are probably curious. So it sounds like 2 decades in that industry. What are some of the opportunities that have been really cool that you've had, and what is that industry really like? Because it's a little different from being just in the crafts industry.
Yeah, it's quite different. I have a bit of a mix, love, not hate, it's too strong a word, but you know, it's really full on. Time wise, it kind of they want you, you know, they need to say jump and you say how high, you know, you can lose your weekends on a dime, as you might say. And things like that. But so the highs are high and the lows are low. So you're sort of one of those industries that you can't really go into lightly. But it has been amazing. So I've helped to make loads of different creatures and costumes. I made Iggle Piggle for In the Night Garden, which I don't know if you guys have that over there, but
I've heard about it. I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it.
Yeah, so it's really popular for kind of toddlers, preschoolers.
Yeah.
So I helped to make him. I've made goblins for Harry Potter and a little bit of Hagrid and Aunt Marge, lots of Harry Potter stuff. I started out on Harry Potter, actually, on Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. And then I've done, it's all sort of superheroes, creature costumes, speciality costumes. So I have gone into what I call the straight costume room, but it's more like the special effects, superheroes. Batman I've done, The Flash I did. I've done Chewbacca for Star Wars, which is probably the most famous creature that I've made. Yeah, loads of different Thor I've worked on as well. But like I say, it's a bit all encompassing, as fun and as varied and as exciting as it can be. It's just a little bit full on when you've got kids. So I've got got 2 kids, so I had to sort of rethink a little bit about what I was going to do. And so that's when Studio 77 was born, when my eldest, who's now 11, I think she was about 8 months, when I sort of thought, right, I need to try and have a bit of a side hustle and see how that goes. And yeah, in 2015, I think it was, I left the film industry, quote unquote. You couldn't, there wasn't really anyone doing part-time. So I left because I didn't want to do full-time. And then the industry, not because of me, but the industry's had to change, because I wasn't the only one that had that view. And so I have been pulled back. I probably do 2 or 3 jobs a year, more part-time, which is great on my terms. Tend to do more stuff at home a bit more. But yeah, so Studio 77 was born, and it started off where I was making toys, handmade toys, from home, and it just kind of blossomed. And then yeah, in 2014 I kind of thought, maybe I can make a go of this and be full-time. And I loved it, but I turned into a bit of a factory, and I didn't want to do that. That was not, it's never been where my kind of heart lies. So then I thought, well, people were asking me how to make these things, so why don't I teach them? So then it's kind of changed into, finally, for years I wanted to do a YouTube channel. Finally in 2020, like a lot of people did, I started my YouTube channel, and that's kind of grown from strength to strength. And then I think, yeah, November, December last year was my first pattern that I brought out, and then in March I started my membership.
That's great. So tell us a little bit about YouTube, because you've got lots of videos on YouTube, and you do a really great job with it. Has that been a learning curve, and what are some of the things that you've picked up along the way as you've sort of started to build it and make it grow?
Yeah, well, thank you very much, first of all. Yeah, I love being on YouTube. It's a lot of work. I highly recommend it. But again, it's not something you go into lightly. You have to do a lot of work, a lot of marketing. You have to hold, you know, put a lot of different hats on. You have to do your editing. You have to really research the topic that you're doing, make sure you're doing the right tags, make sure you're kind of, it's a bit like, I guess it's a bit like blogging or that kind of thing. Like, but with YouTube, you have to actually kind of say the words in your video as well. They have this amazing AI that they can actually detect what you're saying. So there's a little bit of that going on. You have to find out learn how to make thumbnails, things like that. There's so many things to it. Probably my biggest recommendation would be to find other people that are going through a similar journey to you. YouTube can be very lonely, and it can be quite hard, and it's a real roller coaster. You know, if you put a video out and it doesn't get the views that you know, you spent all that time making this video, days and days and days, and then it's like, oh, what happened? So yeah, so finding a kind of tribe of people, and there's plenty of places, you know, on Facebook, on Reddit, Clubhouse. I found loads of people on Clubhouse in lockdown. Yeah, finding a group of people that totally understand, that you can bounce ideas off of, that they can do like a review of your channel almost, that kind of thing. I mean, Clubhouse isn't as good for that now, but it was absolutely fantastic, because everybody was on it in the pandemic. And I met some amazing big YouTubers, you know, millions of subscribers, and they would do free channel audits, and just amazing. So if you can find people like that that can help you and give you ideas, even if it's not your niche, it doesn't have to be your niche, then I really recommend that. Yeah, finding your tribe. I think that goes for everything, doesn't it, really?
And yeah, absolutely. And when you pivoted from, as you said, kind of being like a factory where you were creating handmade toys and selling them one by one versus selling the instructions to make them for other people to learn, was that a learning curve as well? Because, you know, you're writing technical instructions, and granted, you had been sewing for a very long time and doing quite complicated projects, it sounds like, for the movies and the TV industry, that sort of thing. But I still think maybe, you know, publishing a pattern and writing the technical instructions, taking the step-by-step photos or diagrams or however you wanted to illustrate them, that's a little bit of a different skill set.
Yeah, it is quite different. But I do love a challenge. So yeah, it's kind of, actually writing the patterns, making the patterns wasn't different, because I have to do that for the creatures. It's just I don't have to put quite, sometimes I do have to put quite as much detail as in instruction on it, because somebody else might be picking it up, or I have to hand it over, especially if I'm part-time, something like that. But yeah, finding a team of testers and things like that, like and again, I guess it's kind of similar. Like I've reached out to other designers, and also I've done other designers' patterns on my YouTube as well. So I kind of met designers that way, and then we struck up a conversation, and then I'd like ask them questions like, how do you find your testers, or that kind of thing. And that's definitely helped to grow and learn new things. So
yeah, it
recommend.
sounds like these relationships have been really important, and I think it's a great idea. I saw you had like a shark pattern, a shark like pencil pouch. That was a different designer's pattern that you were doing, like basically a video tutorial to help people learn. And I've had YouTubers do that for my patterns, with permission. I gave them a coupon code if folks wanted to purchase the pattern and that kind of thing. And those collaborations were really fruitful. So I think it's a really great way to sort of lift each other up and work together. You don't have to create the pattern from scratch, but you can create the video tutorial, and kind of everybody wins that way. And then you have a new like sort of industry friend to talk to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I highly recommend collaborations. It has everybody thinks that the shark pattern is mine, and I have to keep telling them, no, you must have missed the beginning bit because it's not mine. But yeah, one thing that I sort of learned, got taught through other creators, and also another bit of advice for YouTube that I was given was to watch at least one, when you're growing, when you're learning, try and watch one YouTube video, like from a YouTube kind of guru, or a knowledgeable YouTube video every day, and then try and implement at least one thing on your next video, so that each video you're trying to make yourself better, and you have to have quite a thick skin to yourself and not be precious about it. Yeah, and just sort of try and look at it with an unbiased eye, which is often really hard, and try and see, well, why has that not got views? Did I talk too much at the beginning? Should I have gone straight into the tutorial, or should I make it snappier? Should I be changing shots every, like, on Instagram it's like every 2 seconds or something, isn't it? So and watching other YouTubers and seeing what they do, what they implement, to try and do that in yourself.
Yeah, I think that's so smart, and I love that attitude of like every day learn something new and then try to implement it into what you're working on. And really, if you do that every single day, times infinity, you're going to have fantastic products as time goes by. So sort of jump in before you really know, and then learn and grow as you go is such a good way to do this. So I love that piece of advice. And then you mentioned that you have a membership, and that's something that a lot of our members are really interested in. We had a webinar all about building a membership site, and it was one of our most well-attended webinars. It was like a panel discussion. We had different membership site owners present about how they built theirs, and people could ask questions. And I think membership sites are sort of the new thing. A lot of people are launching them. So could you talk a little bit about how yours works and why you decided to include that in your sort of revenue model?
Yeah, so as I say, I launched mine in March. I've just hit 110 members, which I'm really pleased with. Yeah, so how I launched it, I wanted to do something that was more of a community. So making patterns and just launching patterns is great, and they've got a team of testers, and that's really lovely, but it doesn't build that community and that excitement of everyone sewing the same thing. I wanted somewhere where people could ask me direct questions if they got stuck on something, direct link to the designer, which isn't always available. Yeah, people have Facebook groups, but it's not quite as intimate and easy to get hold of people. So I wanted all of that, and I wanted to be able to offer like extras. So I do competitions every month, different, mix that up. They have to do different things, or they just have to be a member to get to be entered. And then every now and then I add like little bits and pieces, little free downloads, extra patterns, extra tutorials, that kind of thing. So yeah, in terms of growing it, I think because obviously I had a bit of a following already on YouTube and Facebook, and I was growing my mailing list through my free downloads, through my Shark. Actually, I just realized he's up there as well. Yeah, so I'd already built a kind of following. So when I launched, it wasn't a kind of a surprise as much, I guess. So I do have lead magnets, which I think really helps. And if anybody doesn't know anything about lead magnets, then I highly recommend you look up Lisa Johnson. I've been on her one-to-many cohort this year, which is I highly recommend if anybody's interested in memberships or that kind of passive income. Yeah, so I've just been sort of growing it through my lead magnet, reaching out to people, trying to grow a community, trying to make it as fun and exciting a place to be, really, and offering lots of value, as much value as I can give.
Right, absolutely. That's great. So you mentioned your shark is right behind you. Do you have some samples or other things, I don't know, where you are at hand that you could show us? Because it's always
Yeah.
fun. You have like the cutest unicorn bag and all kinds of other neat things. So we would love to see a few things.
Yeah, so I've got, this is my Smitey purse, which is a really fun, small, it's called Smitey because it's small but mighty. And this is quite a good kind of, wouldn't say it's an intro to, so it's definitely, none of my patterns are an intro to sewing. You need to be able to sew before you kind of jump in. I don't do like, I think bag making isn't really, I mean, having said that, I'm always all for, if you want to go for it, then go for it. Don't let anyone stop you.
Sure.
Because that's what I'm like.
Just jump in, right?
Just jump in. But if you're a little bit nervous or unsure, then, you know, bag making, you know, there's different ways you can get into it. But anyway, this is my Smitey purse. So you've got the card slots, you've got the zipper. This is one of my patterns that I've taken on to Sewing Street and it sells out every time, which is amazing. So that's my Smitey. I have got, oops, I have got my Bronte case as well. And this is a kind of organizer. It's got a slip pocket at the back. I'm sure you all recognize good old Tula Pink.
Yeah.
And then where's the zippers? I can open it up. And inside, I designed this. I don't think there's anything inside. Sometimes my, it's named after my little one. So sometimes she kind of hides little things in there. Inside, it's like an organizer.
Oh, wow.
So she is a massive like dolls, Barbie, LOL doll fan.
Right.
So she has to take them everywhere. So that's why I designed this. You've got a space to put little bits and pieces in there. You've got your two clear pockets so you can, you know, put little shoes and things in. And then you've got your main divider in the middle. So the idea being you put two dolls. However, when I made this, as I was making it, I was like, well, this is a sewing case. This isn't just doll case. So I've actually made one. It's actually full of stuff. I made one for myself which has got all my sewing supplies. It's got loads. Let me just grab that big it's my chunk of fabric because I do EPP on the go when I'm waiting for my kids.
Me too.
But yeah, so you've got you know, yeah, I've got my hexes in there as you can see, supplies and stuff. So it really surprised me because some of the things that the testers did with it, you know, they used it for hair supplies or one used it for a breast pump and all kinds of
breast pump. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's great. That's so useful. And I can even see too, if you do use it for a kid with toys, whether they're putting their dolls in there or ponies or whatever it is that they want to put in there, even just like playing inside of it, like, because there's all these places to put things and hide them and stuff. So I could see that even becoming part of the play story. So that's so clever and lovely and very cool. I can totally see why these two products are very popular because they pack a lot into a small space.
Yes, I can grab the unicorn, but I just have to stand up.
Oh, please do. Okay, you all have to see this unicorn because it is so adorable. And if you have unicorn loving children or adults in your life, you're going to really like it.
So this is the unicorn.
Look how cute.
So the nose flips up and you've got a magnetic clasp, and then of course I've got the strap in there, and you've got a little zipper pocket. So again, I try and design from a practical point of view, like how a little kid, let's be honest, it's going to be little kids, but I have had a lot of adults, you know, make it as well. There's no, you know, no judging. And the hair goes down the back as well. So yeah, I wanted to design it so that you know, kids, they just want to chuck stuff in. They don't want to have loads of pocket. I mean, sometimes they do, but you know, with a little bag, they just want to chuck something in and off they go.
Absolutely.
And with all my patterns as well, I have SVGs and projector files as well to try and make it inclusive for all different cutters or style of cutting.
That's great. I think all sewing patterns that you should be in projector file format now, because I'm just seeing that whole sector take off so fast, and it's becoming just much more mainstream. You know, it used to be kind of some like sort of odd little sector of the sewing industry, but not anymore. I feel like projectors are here to stay, and it makes sense to make a projector file for your patterns.
Yeah, yeah. This is the other one that's really popular on Sewing Street. It's my little dinosaur.
So cute.
So this is a panel that Sewing Street actually had made. So to go with the dinosaur, which is really cute, and they made like little name labels to go on as well.
That is a great holiday gift. I love it so much. The little feet are hysterical. They're so cute.
So that's my dinosaur, and then my other one that you might like is my meow bag.
Oh, nice.
So this isn't out just yet. This is going to be out beginning of next month, and this is called the meow bag. Obviously I don't have the the design for Hello Kitty, because I can't do that because it's copyright, but when I was making this again, I was like, this is Hello Kitty, I have to turn this into a Hello Kitty for myself. So she's got a slip pocket on the front, and I actually, as I was making this, I was asking my members what they'd like would they like to learn how to turn any image into an SVG using Adobe. So a lot of them said yes, so I made a video, and you can find that on my YouTube if you're interested.
Oh, awesome.
In doing that as well. So I made it available to them first, and then I put it up on my channel. But this main shape is the meow bag, as you can see. It's got a back, and inside I've got like slip pocket again, and a zipper pocket as well, so you can keep things nice. And I've actually made, I haven't got this to hand, but I've actually made one out of like a really nice floral fabric, and I've had so many compliments, and it isn't until people come up to it and I go, oh, it's a cat, and they go, oh yeah.
Right, so it's super flexible. Well, you are very talented and have a lot of skills to bring to creating these patterns that are a little bit different and a little bit different perspective, I feel like, than many bag designers. So folks who buy one or join your membership are going to be getting something that's sort of expertly designed, and also just maybe a little bit of a different, take on sort of the typical bag that you might find so among sewing patterns that exist. Plus your tutorials on YouTube and extra information and community and your membership and access to you as well. So that's a great deal. So Emma, tell us where people can find you, find these patterns, and start to make some of these things, especially with the holidays around the corner. We still have a little bit of time. So if people wanted to get one now and get started, there might be enough time to finish those things before the holidays are here.
Well, I've got loads of free tutorials over on my YouTube as well, because that's how I started. So you can find the shark, that's a free one. I've got a bunny slide down pencil case, there's loads of stuff. So you just need to look for Studio 77. So it does, as you can see there, it does have the T in between. But if you search on YouTube 77, it comes up as well. But yeah, if you, on all the channels, so Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, all of those, that's how you can find me. And also it's studio77.co.uk.
Wonderful. Emma, it was great to meet you. Great to learn more about you and about your background and about your business. Thank you so much for doing our member spotlight this week. It's been really fun.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Abby.
Thank you, everybody who joined us today, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.